Welcome to another episode of AI and Podcasting, where I experiment with different AI tools, LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, soon to be Claude 3.5, maybe Gemini someday, and so on and so forth. And in special episodes like today's, I'm also helping other folks get comfortable and exploratory with how they use ChatGPT for their podcast messaging. Messaging being the text that you put out into the world that helps people find, get interested in, and learn more about your podcast. And that's the end of the sentence about your podcast. Today, I'm super happy to welcome April from Door Key Podcast. Hey, April.
Hey, how are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited to dive in to this with you. April and I are working on some episodes where we're doing a bunch of marketing stuff for the Door Key podcast. And we were talking about hashtags, and I was like, this is such a ChatGPT conversation. So here we are. Okay. So the first thing you need to know about ChatGPT is that, have you used it before?
Very minimally. So yes, but very sparingly and not I don't think very well, like
Okay.
very expertly.
What did you try to do before?
I have tried to have it help me come up with engagement questions for my social media posts
Okay.
for my podcast episodes.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I find that it's better massaging stuff you've already done more so than coming up with new stuff because how do I say this nicely? The collective, like ChatGPT and these devices, these tools, not devices, these tools are the collective us, and most people write very badly. So especially when you type in podcasting stuff, it comes up like a TV infomercial. In this amazing episode, and it's so
Yes.
gross. So yeah,
Yes.
I tend to have it massage stuff more than create stuff. But
Yeah.
okay, so today we're going to focus on hashtags for your upcoming episodes. So, can you tell us a little bit about what you do from when you publish one episode? You publish 2 episodes a month, you publish one, and then what do you do marketing wise?
What I do is I I make a post to my social media every day with like a picture or a clip from the episode, something that has to do with the topic
Mm-hmm.
that has an engagement question, and I come up with hashtags for the episode, hoping that people can easily find it that way.
Yeah. And what we were talking about over on Podcast to Connect is that you use the same hashtags for a specific episode for all 14 days. And I was like, oh, what if we varied them? And that's where I was thinking ChatGPT is good for this. So
Yes.
you need to give Chatty a lot of Chatty's what I call ChatGPT. You need to give her a lot of parameters because she is the high school friend who you say hi and she talks for half an hour straight. So you have to provide boundaries and context. So the
Okay.
first thing you need to type is the who. So we're going to say let's just say I'm going to type it as I'm talking about it and I'll put it in the chat room. Okay, so you're an SEO expert. You're going to give it parameters on how many. So we'll say, here are how many hashtags do you have?
I think 13.
So context. Here are 13 hashtags for an episode post. Write 20 more in a line with commas. Otherwise, it writes it in a format that's stupid. Write
Okay.
20 more in a line with commas to attract. And here's where I need to ask you, who do you want to find these posts?
Anyone and everyone, anyone that's interested in the subject, that's interested in history,
Tell me the subject.
the Romanovs, which were the last Russian
Okay.
dynasty.
Okay. So here's what I have so far. You're an SEO expert, telling it what role it is, so it filters it that way. Here are 13 hashtags for an episode post. Write 20 more in a line. Otherwise, it might write 2, it might write 50 with commas to attract people interested in history, Russian history, or the Romanovs. Now, what you're going to do after that, I'll put that in the chat room. You can copy it into the post After that, when you put that in the same prompt, put a space and then copy the hashtags that you have already.
Okay, so that's what I have.
Great.
And so hit the little
Yep. 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 And let's see what it comes up with. 20 additional hashtags. And the thing is, it can generate complete crap. So you have to review what comes out. Do any
Okay.
of these seem like ones that would be not crap?
Yeah. The Romanov family,
Royal mysteries?
yeah. I think
Okay.
I think most of these are actually like history buff,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So you can copy these. Do you see the little kind of like double square at the bottom left of those hashtags?
I
Yeah,
do,
if you
right
go
here.
there, you can copy it and you can paste it into anywhere that you want. So sometimes I just email them to myself if I'm rushing around. I'll
Oh,
just to make sure I still have it. This chat, oh, you're not logged in. I didn't think it worked without being logged in. That's interesting. Anyway, if you're logged in, it'll save it in that left-hand area as well, and you can come back to it later. But I learned yesterday that they do not keep the information in there as long as I thought. So be careful if you think you're coming back to it. It's better to save it somewhere else at this
okay.
point. You can also, now that you're in the conversation, you can say, like in the next line, you don't have to repeat everything. Just say 10 more.
10 more.
Mhm. And there you go. Yeah. And if you wanted to change, like, because sometimes I do mine towards business folks and sometimes towards community leaders and sometimes both. So I'll like say,
Okay.
okay, now towards these people or now to attract these people, that kind of thing. So if you want
Okay.
to specifically attract history podcasters, I wonder, oh, let's do something fun. Let me
Okay.
go back to typing for a second. What history podcasts have done an episode on this topic in the past 5 years? We might hit a rate limit, but I put a question in there, if you wanna copy that over, because 'cause I'm a huge fan of stealing work that people have already done. Not stealing, massaging, borrowing. So if you find recent episodes and you find their social media posts, not only can you tag them when it comes out because you have similar interest, but and there you go. But you can look at the hashtags that they used as well. Now, again, this isn't perfect, so verify, check, research, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Um, but there's a list of it gave you 8 different podcasts that did this. I wonder if you can ask it, when did they come out? Or put the year next to the episode, maybe? Well,
Okay.
specific
Uh,
Oh, no, no, no. You don't have to do that again. You can just keep the
oh,
conversation going. So delete that. What year did these come out?
okay.
You can literally just talk to Chatty. You don't even have to do full sentences if you don't want to.
Oh, okay.
You could say list the year. Ah, see, it's answering a different question. It's telling you when the
When
podcast
the,
actually came out. Yeah.
yeah.
Podcasts can vary widely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hit a wall. But you can, look in like listen notes or something, or just like look in the things themselves and search
Yeah.
for Romanovs and find it. But that
Yeah.
did give you some information on stuff. And if you can find their podcast, you can find their social media, you can check out what hashtags they're using. and go from there. And also include them in the conversation when you publish it. Because there's clearly a topic that's similar in content and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one way you can do it, and like I said, you don't have to keep repeating the prompt over and over. You can just continue on with the conversation. Unless there's a blip, there's a lot of times when Chatty will say, "I'm having problems now," because it's
Oh,
oh, yeah, it's kind of funny most of the time. When it's not frustrating, it's funny. But, you can do that. Yeah. So again, since you're doing a lot of this on your phone anyway, you can actually download the, ChatGPT app and you can use it and you can type in it and you can use the voice function. So you've got 2 ideas. And either way, the text shows up and you can still copy and paste it anywhere else. If you want to paste it straight into, a lot of times I'll go from LinkedIn on my phone to ChatGPT, get my hashtags, copy them over back to LinkedIn, all on my
Okay.
phone. So you don't have to
Well,
use the computer for this.
you completely blew my mind by telling me that ChatGPT had an app. I had no idea.
An app and the voice function, which I'm a huge fan of. So yeah. I mean, granted, because 3.5 was the one that got really popular, and then version 4 came out, and that's paid. That's almost $20 a month. And then 4.0 Omni, which is supposed to do visuals, kind of slowed everything down. So now supposedly ChatGPT is less useful than the other ones, and blah blah blah. There's this whole like battle of LLMs and crap happening, and
Oh boy.
whatever. But the way that you're doing this is the same on all of them, whether it be Claude, Gemini, or this, or whatever ones I can't think of right now. So
Right.
it's basically the same.
Okay.
So the way that you're talking to it, the way you're creating that context and, pushing it until it gives you what you want, that's all the same. That's called prompt chaining, and it is the way to get the content you want. Because generally speaking, just doing one prompt and taking the results won't be as good as when you keep refining it and giving it different things to change it and massage it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah. Yay! Okay.
Yay.
So I hope you use it. If you do, please do tag me on the post that you do it on and be like, P.S. These hashtags are thanks to ChatGPT. And then
Okay.
tag me so I can cheer you on and stuff.
I will.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. If anybody else wants some help figuring out how to do the things they're trying to do for their podcast messaging with ChatGPT, whether it be on the podcast here or in a private session, please do reach out to me, AI and A&D podcasting.substack.com. Say bye, April.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.